Welcome back to Factorio Megabase-In-A-Book. My name is Nilaus, and we are continuing on our journey towards the 10,000 signs per minute. As we are sort of getting nearing the end of the series, I think that if we can get it to a stable 10,000 signs per minute, then I think it's hard to not call it a success. I mean, there'll always be some who will find some way of not being making it a success, but I think it's very successful, both in terms of sort of learning something new, achieving an objective, testing a lot of things, and some of them just didn't work. That's all just beside the point. No, it's not. It is the point. It is. It doesn't matter from the. It doesn't detract from the success of the series. The fact that we test things and it doesn't always work, or that we build things and then end up reverting it or building it different. That's okay, because that's kind of how we do it. We're all here in uncharted lands, and I think that's the cool part. So today I will be working on getting our yellow signs working. So that will be also getting that up to 10,000. I've just done the calculations here. We're currently running everything at 7,500. We have red, blue, green, purple signs all running at 10,000 signs per minute. We also have an acute lack of warnings. That's not because I've turned them off. That's because we actually have fully saturated everything. Look at, for example, here. I have 24,000 plus a full train full. Here we have 64,000 and it's completely idle. What about here? 64,000 completely idle and a full train waiting. So that's 96,000 blue circuits just sitting idly by. Yep, sometimes when I do things off camera, or between sessions or in sessions where I make new builds, well, they do tend to let the base run for a bit. Now, what are the things that I want to do work on today? Well, we do have some things down here. These ones are really bothering me because this, for same reason that we talked about last time about the non-full belts, I don't think this is good. But also, even though I have 1.5 million, I can definitely turn this 1.5 million to full belts. Maybe not full belts going in, but definitely saturated belts, because this is not actually consuming very much in terms of iron per minute or second. Let's just do the calculation here. I'm not calculating transport belts. 230 signs per second, so it's not really. That's like five and a half belts. So we can consolidate this and definitely get into 5.5 belts inbound. Other things like this, there's another copper here, so that's 2. What else do we want to do? I think 3. This one can definitely be better, because right now it's just consuming exclusively here. So I'm only actually getting 3.5 belt inbound, so that can definitely be improved. So that's 3 locations. This one, maybe just to take it out. Yeah. 4 locations. This is definitely another one that can be improved a lot. 4. 2 copper, 2 steel. Yeah, I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe take a look at this one. I think that makes sense. So that's just going to be one of those things where we go in here, and what I want to do is just make some new belts around here. And just before we do that, I just want to mention as well that we just need to take a look at the power as well. The power here is 58 gigawatt of power. Well, that's something. If we look at it on a 10-minute cycle, you can see that the part that's fully operational during nighttime is getting closer. If you sort of draw the imaginary line up here, then that is going to be the maximum. If I exceed that point, I can't run through the night. That's a problem. So we definitely need to also add more power. We are at 1.4 million solar panels and 1.2 accumulators. So as we upgrade the miners, that's also a good part to, while I do that, just setting up some production up here. What I can do is I can simply just go and drag another line of this part out here, and then have all the robots getting super busy with that. Including here. Let's get all of that going. Yeah, that's a bit of a mess. That's gonna take a while. So this is one of those cases where okay, let's just activate the robots and kill our frames. Okay, they're not even getting started now, but they'll be coming from everywhere and going to everywhere location. Right, that's not actually very impressive. But anyway, this is definitely something we have to do. So let's get that sorted, so at least figure out how much that will be compared to our 1.4 we have at this moment. 1.4 million. Oh, here, There we go. It's 1.4 here. I was like, where did it? And then 1.2 here. Right, let's do that. And then take a look at when it's all updated. Now we've been making the changes. Let's have a look at this change that we are here. This is looking much more sustainable. It is looking like we're coming out here with full belts, because this is not consuming full 8 belts, but it's producing full 8 belts, so it's consuming less. And even this teeny tiny thing can actually support it. Also up here, this is also another little teeny tiny thing. I can build this one. What you can see is that I'm not actually even using any modules or beacons or anything like that. When you are running around with 118 mining productivity, each of these miners will be, let's have a look. What is your speed? Your speed is 0.5 times 2.7. There we go. So it produces 6.35, and that means just 3 of these is close to a full belt. Like close to a full belt on one side, right? It's 22.5 on either side. So at this point, and now we just do 0.8. There we go. 19.2. So at this point, we have four of these inserters, or 4 of the miners will be oversaturating a belt, or if it's 4 on either side, of course, but 3 will not quite be there. But in most cases, or actually in all cases, 3 will be sufficient. So just like this, where we have more than that, it's gonna be fine. It is incredible amount of resources we can get out of a belt at this moment. Also, I did this one where I just basically flipped. Instead of running this way and only getting 3.5 belts, I now turn it the other way, and then it's easy to get all the full belts we want. There was another one. This one, I just didn't bother restructuring this because, yeah, they're full and I have lots of coal, so no problem. Even this teeny tiny one, but there's 1.6. So just like this, because there's 3 on either side, that gives us the 19.2 on either side. And that is 38.4 from each of these belts. This one I upgraded here, which is like 1 with modules, 1.25 times 12.8 is 16. So this one in and of itself is just providing 16 per second. That's pretty nice for a single little miner. So that's the 2 steel and 2 copper that we fixed as well. If we look at our power, we now have added 200,000 of this. That is very nice. Only 100,000, probably like close to 200,000. If we now look at the ratio, we should be seeing that, yeah, it's getting better as well. Here it's going to be much better scale up here. So that is very nice. That's definitely solved. Let's have a look at what we actually need. So we are currently at this ratio for the yellow. That's 7,500. And that means we need 90 low density structures, 60 blue circuits, and 228 lubricant and 43 batteries. So what I did was I just went out and checked all of these things. I scaled it up to 10,000, did the calculations, not surprising with these numbers, but they're actually, I round up all the numbers. I do the calculations and then I round out the numbers, and only, well, here this has become like slightly weird numbers. But in either case, if we, for example, look at our battery build is, now we have 2. That's also because it has to be ready to also support some accumulators as well. But each of them produce 90, and I have 2 of them. So we can easily say, if we, when we hit 10,000 signs per minute, we're going to stop expanding the solar panel, because at that point, that's the total number of total amount of power we need. So no reason to keep expanding there. So we need to, while working our way up towards the 10,000 signs per minute, we need more power. But when we hit 10,000, that's where we will stop adding more power. That's why we can at that point calculate as saying all of this, as long as we have battery production, then that should be fine. I don't have to reserve twice as much battery production just for accumulators. Lubricant is another very simple one. Since the lubricant is in this combined build, then it will be way overscaling. 236, and I have, how many do I have? I have 5 of those. So yep, that is definitely not a problem. These are also sort of something that's generic. And then the blue circuits, that's the big one, but we have done the calculations in advance. I need 80 here plus 77. So in total, we have 80 plus 77. That is, who knows what that is. Thank you, AutoSave, for just highlighting me. I can do advanced calculations, but I can't do stuff like it's like adding 2 numbers together. Right, and how many modules? Modules is 25. Is 25 each. And how many modules do we have? We have 7 modules, right? 1, 2, let's actually just do this. We have 8 modules, yeah? 8 modules. 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I added one more. 8. This one is not quite there yet on scaling up. So if I have 8 of those times 25, then gives me 200, and I need 157. So definitely not a problem, except that we also need a few for the modules as well. So I think that's fine. It means we should be having plenty, not running out. The low density structure is something that's built dedicated to each of the build. Each of these, this is a, let's see, it goes to the yellow signs here. I will take a look. How much will we make? 24.6. And if we have, how many do we have? I think we have 4 of them. I just wanted that icon to go away. Where are you? Here. We have 4 of these. So all I can need to do, and go. And I have 4 of them. That gives us 98. And I can then go back. I couldn't. 98, and we need 90. Okay. What about if I have one more? Oh, it's actually going to be really close as far as I can see. Here, if I have 5 of them, then I have 123. And what I need is 120. So 123 versus 100, that means compared to what we have now, I don't need to build any batteries, I don't need to build any lubricant, I don't need to build any blue circuits, but I do need to build 1 low density structure and 1 yellow circuit. Yellow science build. That is incredibly simple to do that scaling here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this area, and we'll actually just have you clean it out. There we go. Once that's cleaned out, then I can take, just very simply, a build over from the other side, copy it in to here. And then let's go build it. But I think I want to get that out of the way. What do we not have when we do these kind of things? I have no idea. But we definitely need to go down there for sure. So I will be hitching a ride on the train to this location. Let's park it sort of in the middle. That's going to be like the good place to build it. And we're still running around 40 frames per second or updates per second. That's pretty good. It'll always just go up and down depending on whether we are sort of zoomed all the way in. That should actually be increasing our frame rate because we're generating less crap. It's frame rate is constraining and updates are constrained. Updates is the actual base running, but frame rate is also constrained if I look all the way out here and have everything sort of filled up. Then I can't maintain it. This is not because the factory runs slower, it's because my frames cannot draw all the crap on screen. So that's another thing to keep in mind, that you slow down the game by just looking at it. And if you do that in a multiplayer game, then you start sort of falling behind on updates and do skips and buffers and disconnects eventually if you do that. So this is also not a very multiplayer friendly game, but that fits fine. That fits really well because I'm not very multiplayer friendly either. So it's all fits together, I guess. I guess I will be going, let's get you to this location so that we build them, both of them together, and we are good. And that was that. And now all of this is built, and we can just hook up everything else to get started on the inbound here and here and here. And I'll be taking care of the two, and the spidertrons will take care of the last. We will get you positioned in here because that's a good place. Now, we may need to have more trains for this. I have 4 trains on 5 stops. I think I need one more. Because this is a very, very small train, so I think it's important that we keep up with the trains on this part. And let's go one more. Go. I may even need even more than this, but now we have everything hooked up. That was super easy. I keep pressing shift because I want to run faster. I can't run faster than this, unfortunately. This is as fast or as slow as it gets. We get this in here. This is all the things come in, and when I build something, I always do this part, like the ghost busting part, just to make sure that we don't have anything suspicious there. Now we're getting steel in for the low density structures. We should get the other parts as well. And nope, nothing coming in here. Then the steel is coming in. What else are we getting? We're getting more low density structures. Good to see it, but you can see how quick they dissipate here. And we have one of the many, many blue trains that are available. There comes some iron. And what is the last part we're missing? Batteries. Okay, well, batteries are... Oh, hold on. Oh, I do have 2 trains for batteries. That's okay. What about you? You're kind of in a congestion. Oh, that's just the local congestion getting in here. It's just... This is the spot where everyone wants to be. So that is why it's so popular right now. And the thing with the yellow signs is that you need a lot of different materials, but not a lot of quantity on each. So this makes it a lot simpler from a train perspective. I don't know if it makes it simpler, but it doesn't have that issue where with low density structure has that it's predominantly just can you keep up with the copper? And the answer is not really. We have 2 trains inbound, and out of the 2 trains. So once this goes in, I hope that it will get in here, but they are coming, and they could be coming from really far away. Unfortunately, there's no way for me to see where the trains are coming from. They'll always be taking the closest one, but we don't really know where the closest one is actually at this point. So I can only hope that as we get this in, here's the first train. This is stuck at 2 though. That's something I'm kind of wondering about, why this is stuck at 2. And it's a good opportunity for me to go down there, also risking getting run over as well. But the question of why is it only 2 trains is the maximum. Is that because I've set it up to 2 trains? No, it's probably because these stations, let's see. Oops, don't want to be canceling that, just not even by accident. And that is 32, so we do the 32. 32 times 4,000. There, that's 153, and then divided by 32,000. That's 4.8. I don't see why it should be limiting anymore. Trains are 32. Oh, max is 72. I can actually increase that max to more. Let's see. 3 times 32 is 100. That's 100,000. There. What if we do that? Then I will be requesting... well, now 2 of 2 trains. That's despite the fact that we already have this in here. You know what? That's a thing there. That's a thing. That's a thing for all the other ones, because I need to make sure that we get a lot of copper in here. And 2 trains for copper might not cut it. Might not cut it for this. There. And I hope it's the right places I make it. That is 5 different locations that are now been allocated 1 more. See, for example, this is 31,000 and then only getting up here. That's definitely not enough. Now this one needs 2 trains in. We might just have a shortage of copper on a short term. We're not consuming more, but I need to make sure that there's basically always another copper train waiting, because as soon as this one is done unloading, then the next train should be rolling in. It's simply consuming so fast that, well, we damn well need it. How fast are we consuming it? That is at 352. So if we look at a train full of 32,000 with 352, yeah, so in 90 seconds, that's actually not that bad. So every 90 seconds I need 1 inbound. That's actually not a problem. But then again, it could 90 seconds. And if I have 2, then potentially I have a lead time of 3 minutes, like 180 seconds. Yeah, 3 minutes. I mean, honestly, if I need to allocate a train from here, how long time does it take to go here? And now I'm saying 3 minutes, but it's not 3 minutes in real time because we do this. It's 3 minutes in game time. So yeah, I think this is better. It shouldn't consume more resources, but it should make sure that it is less prone to running out of copper, which is kind of one of the biggest risks, is actually running out of copper for our low density structure builds. Now, what did we build? Did we succeed? I think we did. Look at this belt. It's fully saturated. And if we look at production stats, then we look at science. Ugh, how is science so difficult to spell? Every time I click here, I'm just crossing my fingers that today will be the day when all the colors match up. I mean, there is a chance, right? Actually, how big is the chance? 6 different colors, 6 different combinations. Oh, I don't even know. Don't even go there. But what I'm looking for is this one. So what we saw was that was absolutely rock steady producing here at 8.1, which is the maximum. And then it bounces up to 10.8, which is the maximum it can produce now. And then when I start consuming it at 10,000, then we should still have a leeway, because you must have just a bit of overcapacity. And now what will happen is that this is continued to produce at 10,000 science per minute until, well, until some of these run out or run full. We have 2 trains. That's got to be enough for this. If we look at this one here, we have a full train, plus we have now 8,000 in this location. Let's look at the other 2 here. This one has 34,000, so this has a full train available. What about this? That has full train available plus 80,000. So this one's going to be running out. One minor detail that would be really cool to be able to do was some kind of prioritization to say that if this one is running full, then you'd want to prioritize taking this one in, because then it starts up again and we have more simultaneous production. For example, like we saw for this, even worse for this one, I guess. Okay, this is working fine again. But if for the ones, if there is a train stuck here and there's a full station, so that the production at that station stopped, that would be the one that I'd really want to get out. But that would always be the one that's furthest away, and therefore the one that's most likely to reach that steady state and least likely to be taken out. So I think that was a really nice build for this. I mean, it's nothing new in this build, but we're still sort of going around tweaking the base and finding minor things that could sort of eventually become problems. As long as we have this situation where we are producing, let's actually go in again here, science again, check you out. And here, as long as we have this steady production continuously, I mean, I'm producing 7,600, 7,500, we can say that, science per minute, and it's rock steady at this point. There are no jams, there are no warnings, there's nothing. It looks good. I mean, we could wish we had more framed, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. So all we need now is building the space science, and then building the science, and then letting it all go, running it for a few hours, and see if we can maintain it as a steady build here. And that will actually be it for this episode. There's no point in dragging it out. I hope that you enjoyed this little episode, and thank you very much to all the patrons who are supporting the channel. I hope that you are not just supporting just to get one more episode of the Let's Play, but more to actually support the channel and the work I do here, so I can continue. Because as of right now, I'm not very focused on Factorio, because, well, I dare say that I have solved this game based on the space here. But it's more about a lot of the other cool Factorio games that are out there. And then, of course, we are anxiously waiting for the DLC for Factorio to come out. And once that comes out, oh boy, it's going to be all over this channel, that's for sure. So thank you very much for watching. Until next time, take care. And as always, stay effective.